Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft video. In this video I am going to be showing you how to never take fall damage ever again in Minecraft. And it's not just by using a water bucket. Let's get started. So let's start off by figuring out how much of a drop you actually can survive without anything or any effects or any armor or anything. So if we teleport to the top of this pillar, you will be able to see that from 25 blocks, if we enter survival mode, if we just jump off here, that's the maximum amount of damage we can take. We're on half a heart. I've turned off natural regeneration so it's easier for you guys to see. But yeah, 25 blocks, that is the max that you can drop without completely dying, with no armor, no potion effects, and no health whatsoever. Now, let's go to the next way to increase the amount of height you can fall from and still be left with only half a heart. And that is the hay bale. So the thing with hay bales is that they almost quadruple the amount of height you can fall from. So as you can see here, we're at 100 blocks higher than our ground level and 75 blocks higher than our 25 block with no effects whatsoever. So now if we jump off and land on this hay bale, you can see that took us down to half a heart. So this is obviously a much easier way to reduce fall damage, and if you're using a hay bale, you can MLG place it and do it for any of the heights up to 100 blocks. So you could MLG place this hay bale wherever you wanted and reduce your fall damage like that. However, MLGing is kind of hard. The next few systems or ideas I had, they do involve a bit of MLGing, but a few at the end don't require anything at all. Let's get to them. So the next method is the tried and tested water bucket. And what you have to do is here, you just got to be a bit of an MLG, and as you get down, oops. Let me try this out. Like so, you just place a water bucket at the last second and you take absolutely no damage. However, as I have mentioned on this sign, it can't be used in the nether and it's very skill based. So with that in mind, I came up with a few more ideas. The first of which was chorus fruit. So chorus fruit, if you don't know, teleports you to a random place when it's eaten. Now what this means is, let's say you're on a ledge and you think you're going to fall, you eat a chorus fruit, and you get teleported all the way down. Now, since the aim of this video was, if you're falling, if you eat it just a second before you fall, basically what happens is, so I didn't do it well there, but what happens is the game thinks that however much you've fallen, that is the amount of fall damage you'll take when you hit the ground. So let's say I fall 3 blocks and then I finish eating my chorus fruit, I will take 3 blocks worth of fall damage. So as you can see here, if I take a few chorus fruit, I start eating them, and then I fall, I only took 2 hearts of damage there. So depending on how long it takes you to pop off that chorus fruit, that's the amount of fall damage you'll take. And do remember that I am dying from that height, but that's without any armor whatsoever, and if you had feather falling or something like that, a chorus fruit would be a very viable way of almost every time being able to survive a large fall. Now this next method is using a horse. So this actually brings me on to the reason this video was inspired by, and that is in Dream's latest Minecraft Manhunt video, or at least at the time of recording his latest Minecraft Manhunt video, he is about to die, right? He's been shot off a portal which is super high in the sky by the Manhunters, and he doesn't have a water bucket or anything else that could help him in his inventory. What he does, however, is this. Yes, that's right. He just stood on the horse. Now the thing is, the game cancels out all your downwards momentum as you stand on that horse, which means you can drop from an infinite height, get onto a horse, and survive the fall. Now the thing is, this is very skill based and luck based, because there has to be a horse near the place you're falling from, and you have to be able to time it exactly right to be able to jump onto the horse and not, fall to the ground. So with that in mind, let's move on to the next method, which is slime blocks. So slime blocks are the first thing that comes to mind when you're thinking of a different way to not take fall damage. So what I have done is I've made a little setup here. So if you fall from here, you just bounce on the slime block and you don't have to take any fall damage whatsoever. However, what this means is if you do shift and you're high in the sky, even if you're bouncing, you will take all the fall damage as if you fell on a regular block. And the second thing is, it will require some setup. So even though you can fall from an infinite height onto a slime block and still survive, it does require you to have placed that slime block there before. Now, The reason I've included it in this video is because if you have a slime block in your inventory, like so, you can MLG place a slime block and bounce off it, like so. Oops, I was in creative anyway, so that doesn't matter. But it does take some practice. It's like water bucketing, but harder. But if you do that, you can negate all fall damage without having to do anything. Now, again, back to the reason for this video. I saw Dream's Minecraft Manhunt thing, and I was thinking about other ways in which he could negate fall damage without having to do much effort. So obviously he's already done the horse thing, the 25 blocks and 100 blocks hay thing he's already done as well. Chorus Fruit is useless because to get Chorus Fruit you have to beat the Ender Dragon, and once you've beaten the Ender Dragon in Minecraft Manhunt, the challenge is over. And then obviously water buckets don't work in the nether. Now slime blocks, however, they're easily obtainable if you find a slime chunk. You can MLG place them, they work in the end, the nether, anywhere you want to. And since Dream is so proficient with water buckets, he will be equally proficient with slime blocks. So yeah, that's a bit of trivia about why I made this video. But let's move on to the next one, which is using a trident. More specifically, a trident with Riptide 3 and when it's raining or thundering. What this means is that if you're about to take any fall damage from falling off, you can aim your trident, and if you time it perfectly, you can negate all your downward momentum and just take the fall damage from where you were. Now, I didn't do it properly there, but if you time it just right with a Riptide 3 trident, and note that it has to be Riptide 3, I tried 1 and 2 and they were very, very, very hard to use. But if you use it with a Riptide 3 trident at the right time, that was the wrong time. You can take virtually no fall damage compared to what you would have taken before. Now again, this isn't very viable for a scenario like Minecraft Manhunt because getting a trident itself is hard, but then enchanting it with Riptide 3 is even harder. But who knows, Dream gets insanely lucky as we saw from those horses. So yeah, that is another way to negate fall damage. And now moving on to the second last one, which is Enderpearls. Now everyone who's tried to not take fall damage has heard of that clip where the guy in the UHC used an MLG water bucket after realizing that Enderpearls fall slower or something. But I decided to test it out just to give it a try, and if you're aiming down, the Enderpearl always falls faster because what happens is you give it that forward or downward momentum that it requires at the start, which puts it that far ahead of you, and since Enderpearls now fall at the same speed as the player, you don't take any fall damage except for the damage you take when you use an Enderpearl. So yeah, this is again a very viable strategy. However, Enderpearls are pretty expensive, especially in a manhunt situation because you need them for the portal. But if you have extra, they're a very, very easy way to get out of any situation of fall damage because there's virtually no skill required. You can do it even at the last second, you can do it from the start. There's no requirements, just you need a pearl and that's it. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the next and the last way to do this, and that is using a cobweb. So this is what I thought would be the most practical in Minecraft Manhunt because you can get cobwebs pretty easily in survival and they come quite easily when you're looking for a dungeon, or sorry, a stronghold. And what you do is you do something very similar to MLG water bucketing where you just wait for the right moment and place a cobweb. And as you can see, I get to the ground almost instantly as if I've fallen the entire way, so I don't have to waste time bouncing on a slime block. And yeah, I don't take any fall damage whatsoever because the cobweb slows me down just enough to reach the bottom of it, and then since my momentum has all been taken out, I don't need to, I don't take any fall damage. Now, those were the methods I thought of, but there is the obvious to which everyone was going to say, and that is the potion of slow falling and an elytra. Now, these two are pretty obvious, but they also require you to think that you're going to fall and make a potion of slow falling. Now, the way you make a potion of slow falling is by using a phantom membrane, and though you can get phantoms in Minecraft Manhunt, it's not very practical to be waiting around all night for a phantom to spawn, then killing it, then using that in the brewing stand. However, it is possible, So I'm including it here under a kind of special subsection. And obviously elytras are completely not possible, because to get an elytra you need to beat an end city, and to get to the ship in an end city you need to kill the ender dragon, which, as I said with chorus fruit, just doesn't work. So yeah, those are all the ways I could come up with to completely never take fall damage in Minecraft, if you're skilled enough. And I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff. And tell me if I missed anything down in the comments below. Also, I didn't use Optifine for this video, just so everyone knew I was using a completely vanilla launcher with no mods, no data packs, nothing installed for this demo. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!